Al pie del Ávila majestuoso, a 920 metros sobre el nivel del mar, en un valle de verde geografía que se abre de este a oeste, surge Caracas, la capital de Venezuela.
And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Go get some!
Hey, how's it going? My name is Rafael Chacines, known as El Capitán Rafucho, and welcome to another episode of The Combat Club. This is a podcast with extreme attitude because in this club, we're born to fight anytime, anywhere, anyone. And sorry about that, guys, because, well, I was dealing with dehydration and all the sickness that I just came here for like last week. And, well, to be honest, right now, just a heads up, I'm just like 80% healthy because I'm gonna be like recovering after all dehydration. So, and thank you for all the thoughts and prayers. I feel like very good because right now, after all the dehydration, right now I'm feeling very good enough. Very good, very good. All right, so salute to my brother, Auntie Sid Soder. Salute to you. What's going on, my brother? Have a great show. Salute to you. So this is like a late night thoughts because we're going to talk about two topics that it really breaks the social media comments, but it's also because they happen to say again, or it's just like my imagination. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about what happened with Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. I mean, again, because I'm not even kidding about the folks. Because Michael Chandler, listen up. Michael Chandler, one of the most entertaining athletes of mixed martial arts, including the UFC, he just posted in the comment and say, Conor, 24/1/2026. You know what that means. So January 24, 2026 is on Saturday. So I don't think it's going to be really possible to make it right. Because I'm not even joking about this, right? But you know what the thing is? He just really wasted 2 years of his life at the end of his career waiting for that fight. That I was like, again? I mean, this is not fucking kidding me. Because we understand that a whole narrative is being overstated. Because most people probably they have one done the same at this position. But also, that would look like 3 fights with the headshots, not to mention that sparing. I think that most people through Conor will at least have a one more fight than him. Because it's not hurting his brand or another. Because if he doesn't get Conor, I mean, he's still going to get an exciting fight in the main card because his fights are guaranteed burners. But people don't realize that it's not like Chandler. He has lost that much for waiting because he wasn't much like at the beating the top contenders in that division. We would see. I mean, the UFC seems to have kept it fed, and it's not going to matter optics. Because I know it's really terrible to be begging for a fight against Conor McGregor. That doesn't even entertain that much for years and years and years and years and years. And oh my God. But if that really happens, I mean, let Conor Bedard totally watch Michael Chandler so he can hop on the right in the picture and start talking like the still light years ahead of everyone. It probably like 170. So did wins and Islam's champ. They might something like really different around for like the UFC. Because if you know where to get it, you know where to get it. Hey, shout out to Marlena Mendoza. Salute to you. Salute to you. Salute to you. But also, at this point, I mean, I don't think that anyone's gonna be like a too tear off for like the actual fight because we all know that it will go. I mean, the build up and the fail out. I mean, they gave us like a more than 25-minute fight. They even could. I mean, watching Islam beat the shit out of the Connor after Connor, there is no doubt that it goes very nuclear in the building up. But I think that the UFC has only shot is getting like to hit the numbers again. Because if you remember the pay-per-view, the famous pay-per-view, Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor back in 2015, that was like really shocking at all. Really, but really, really shocking at all. But you know that at the point because I don't think that a lot of people they wanted to expect between Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. And if you wanted to do something right, I mean, you mean you got it. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's gonna be like really possible to see Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. Yep. So hold on a second right now. Hey, how's it going, Afakasi Raider? Salute to you. Salute to you, Afakasi Raider. What are my Australian brothers? So salute to you, and I hope you're doing good. All right, so let's just see what happens because I know that's uh, all right, there you go. Oh, yeah, sorry about that time. I see. Good to see you, man. Happy stream, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, but after we just saw like the Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor, I mean, probably Conor McGregor is never gonna fight in the UFC, and both have the benefit from publicity. I mean, this is when I just stop talking all the shit, and then we'll get in like views and engagement because that's what the people they're most afraid of. I mean, if they have it between a Saturday night, I mean, they're gonna be the last dance, they're gonna be the last fight, but and then to this point, because if anyone thinks that Connor is fighting again, maybe some people they just think they're stupid. But at this point, if it's gonna be like an exhibition, go for the International Fight Week. That's gonna be a hand free. But after that, because the whole social media comments are arguing between Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor again. But interesting how one was mentioned about the contract of John Jones, about what happened in The Ultimate Fighter. I mean, there could be right because there's a reason that UFC haven't stripped John might be on it. And of course, it's going to be like the next topic for the late night thoughts. Because if I'm not mistaken at all, but between for the like the opinions, I mean, if you really bothered to read the entire thing, I mean, wasn't it the sign for the 3-fight contract? He was one fight left. He either has to go to the fight to get off of the contract by buying out, but that's gonna be typically how most contract works. But maybe just hoping with this one. Maybe just hoping and everything. hoping and everything. And speaking about John Jones, I know it's a late night thoughts because everyone is just getting really, 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 well, really got to sort of tired. But John Jones, the title could be stripped or could be the end of his career. Because, since 2023, I just had an interview with Gabo, yep, with Gabriel, and they just told me that maybe John Jones is going to be retired at the end of this year. But between for like getting the title stripped, I mean, for most of the people, including Dana, which is the owner of the UFC, the president, I mean, for Dana White, John Jones could be like the Michael Jordan of mixed martial arts. He just wanted to glorify him and pet a legacy the way he can. Chances are that we will see like another 23-year-old champion who has never defeated at the UFC. There was one loss, was a disqualification, who has 17 title wins because he just wanted to capitalize on John's legacy and pet it. He just wanted John to have the longest reigning heavyweight bullshit all correlate to others' legacy. But after we just saw between John Jones versus Steve Miocic, that was like a legacy fight, which is completely annoying. And I bet that we'll look at the fight on paper, we elevate John in the future. And they just allowed Doug Nuggerman to walk out for 3 years, and they gift like a kickboxer with zero grappling for the title fight. Because people never forget that didn't force the vacate title despite it being Jordan inactive for 1.5 years and choose to defend the title against 42-year-old Steve who hasn't fought in 3.5 years. Almost. I mean, I can't understand why. I can't even understand why. Because at the first, and check this out, folks, the UFC doesn't have like the GOAT figure athlete. Because Khabib Nurmagomedov, he retired in 2020. He retired early. And George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva had multiple losses, but they're doing everything within the power to prop the John and to sway the other narrative about how is the goal of their sport. Because remember, they straight up robbed Dominic Reyes, against Jones to protect John Ryker. Then the jail for Francis I'm going to do for 3 years. Allow him to fail every drug test that happened to Anthony Smith. The Lionheart, Anthony Smith. And this is their schedule for like an entire card because he failed at the drug test. It is clear to have like done everything and their power to probably like as a GOAT figure. Because I'd rather to pass Cain as the longest reigning heavyweight on paper. Other than the watcher that they protect the GOAT that gets slapped by Aspinall. Yep. Tom Aspinall, which is like the interim heavyweight champion. But look at this out of the resume. I understand that John Jones is the GOAT of the UFC, but they rather could go for like the image at the UFC unbeatable fighter, the baddest man on the planet. And for the status of GOAT, it doesn't matter too much. There will always be like a nice sport, and no matter what they do. That's because the barrier to enter the sport as a viewer and as an athlete, it's insanely high. Because even the sports with that entry, that will simply not cross. Like cricket in India is extremely popular at luthiers, and they're happy to include everything. Not an athlete or a team name, but also there is a business structure. They clearly are not because has to the way to the management of the profit to the most anti-consumer methods when it comes to consumers to consume the future. No matter how much money they earn, buying pay-per-views and other stuff to watch weekly fights that are concerned insanely financially illiterate. Because some of those people Either hates their viewers or just really don't care whether the people watch the show or not. Then why he just wanted the benefits because at this point, John has some of the serious blackmail on Dana. And that's one of the only ways he gets all the way through this bullshit. I remember the famous announcement of Tom Espinal. Turns out he was getting sponsors. And the biggest announcement of Tom Espinal, it wasn't a fight. It was just a sponsor. It's all about marketing. It's all about money. I mean, what in the actual fuck? We just saw it. What in the actual fuck did I just saw it? Because he's literally destroying like a lot of great fighters. Last year, as I happened to the comments right about this name. Because we all know that it's the UFC president of it. And we know that means nothing. There has only one defense against Titan, who was on the fourth list. Because if you people see like today's UFC, probably gonna switch it off for like WWE. Well, probably because I'm not even kind of like crazy on it. I'm not even looking at the crazy on it right now. But at this point, to be fair, it's choosing literally to destroy the entire weight class. I mean, the weight class that brings like the most casual viewers and the money in every combat sport since the beginning. Yeah, since the beginning. But check this out a little about this, folks. I mean, John Jones has little leverage on power because he just like he doesn't want to break the contract because they were having to pay him for those fights, even they never came for the petition. And some people they call out a dickhead, but I understand he's not in charge of the situation because if they have full autonomy, so they can do whatever they want, they just choose not to, which is totally makes sense. But I know they have something in common. But I mean, the way this is going to happen over the days, it was just like maybe it's gonna be working at all. And you know, they gave it like a privilege. Because whenever we went back like the Duncan first thought that no one gets called out was Chael Sonnen. Yep, Chael Sonnen, one of the most powerful trash talkers in the UFC, including Conor McGregor and Michael Bisping. And he jumped at the opportunity to fight Jones on 8 days' notice. And Jones was absolutely, he just refused. When he was looking at the schedule to fight in the headline, it was like in shape and training, but he was chilling. He didn't want that fight. John Jones, he was doing like at some games, but he was cheating and being like an overall piece of shit. But he will never call the greatest of all time. But in some people, they just wanted to get at it. You know? Hey, how's it going, Lane? All like every time passing through that I like. Thank you very much, Lane. How's it going, Marcus Banks? What's up, Rafa? Salute to you, Marcus Banks. So, between for like the division, the heavyweight, it's definitely like a really weak division. Because I know it's fun because seeing like all those athletes go full tilt after each other. Russell took Derek Lewis, Tom Espinal. But everyone just getting really tired. But do you guys really remember what happened? Because he just answered what he was waiting for. And I'm not even kidding about the folks. Not even talking about because, the social media I mean, they just gotta add all to get burned. Yep, to get it off to get burned. And I didn't know that is like really happening. I didn't know that about it. But the social media comments, I mean, they just came like a take it like a little of medicine, and oh snap. Yeah, I just forget about this because I understand that the image is well, it's not very compatible to share the screen, but let's see what do they got right now. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, I became like it as something stupid. But between for the comment of John Jones, between for like the social media, because well, there are some comments that say like this: enjoying the last days out of the champ before being stripped. I see you, John. I mean, all that of the social media comments of John Jones getting stripped. I'm not trying to be like really shabby at all, but they have a lot of requests, Dana's wife, including Dana's wife. They have signed the petition to get stripped. And I'm not kidding about this, folks. I'm not kidding about it. And also, and also, I just wanted to speak because they sign up for the petition to strip Jones is now really close to 150,000 votes. They're gonna be hit a million, and the UFC would have given like a fuck to this one. But I really think that petition of getting stripped of John Jones' title could be changed or will change nothing. But it's probably that it's telling that John talks so much about legacy, and this is like a legacy because well, thousands of people hate him, thousands of people love him, and they just want the right to strip it of the championship belt because this type of publicity is gonna be benefit John. I don't think so. But has a petition worth to change everything? Because sometimes it could find completely worthless in those cases and could be like really funny. But do you think that why a petition is gonna have to work? Everyone in the world could agree as long as the Daniel wants, he's not going to be forced to vacate the title. I mean, who could happen? Who could it happen at all? You know what I mean? but but anyways, I know that I have my thoughts. And to be honest, right now, I know this is gonna be like a short live stream, but you know, my mind it's I understand that I understand that I became healthy at all because before like the introduction and everything, I mean I was dealing with dehydrating, I was vomiting, I wasn't that feeling good about for that week. But thank God, thanks for the advice of taking water, Pedialyte. I mean, that actually helps. That actually helps, and I really like it. And right now, this weekend is gonna be like the last one of the UFC Vegas before we're going to celebrate. Yeah, we're going to celebrate like the summer of the UFC and WWE because the next Saturday, because they have two amazing events, and no one can miss it. First, Money in the Bank in Los Angeles, and the UFC, the rematch that all you've been waiting for, Sean O'Malley versus Murat Bashili for the title on New Jersey. So after the UFC Vegas, between Erin Blanchfield, because everybody thought that, well, that fight is gonna be like that fight card. I mean, I didn't even know about like the fight card, but it seems that it's gonna be like to make it any sense at all. But let's see what it happens if they have some of the knockdowns and everything. Yeah, definitely. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, right now this is like gonna be like a short stream, but thank you very much. I was hoping to be able to get like a debate night with Mr. In the Grey Knight, one of the most famous content creators and rappers straight on from Massachusetts, from Boston. But I just wanted to tell you have a great weekend, because I know this weekend is gonna be really important. Because, well, this weekend is gonna be really electrifying between the world soccer. They have the UEFA Champions League, and for all for the fans of metal, including living in Charlotte, North Carolina, they have 3 bands performing at the same stage. There is Metallica, there is Pantera, and there is Suicide Tendencies, which is like a punk rock metal band from California. If you guys remember, suicidal tendencies institutionalized, and Ice-T made a cover about that. That was very huge. And well, I apologize to everybody. So all right, so I just wanted to tell you, have a great night, have a great weekend, and I will see you there at the next episode of the Combat Club. And after for those, and after the fight card of the UFC, well, probably I should have the focus doing all of this. So thank you very much, and of course, have a great night, have a great weekend. See you there for the next episode of the Combat Club, because in this club, we are able to do something. We're born to fight. Anytime, anyone, anywhere. So thank you very much, and I will see you there next week. Well, probably the next episode, but so let's see you guys.